Have you ever experienced the misery of a leaky brief where it gets all over the chair that the person was sitting in? Boy, I hate it when that happens. What a mess that creates, and the embarrassment for the person also. Are you the caregiver for your loved one and you trying to figure out how to avoid that from happening? Let's talk about that today, about how that can be killing you as the caregiver, and find a better solution to the wet mess that often develops. So, as a caregiver for 30 years and a care home owner for the last 10 years, I've had a lot of experience with adult diapers. And I've seen them change from what they were 30 years ago, where there was lots of cloth diapers and plastic, to the much better product that they are today. They tend to be breathable. They tend to have tabs that are repositionable. And that is something to make sure you find, because you do still once in a while see them not repositionable, and that makes them really hard to deal with. It's not worth that cheap product. That cheap product is going to kill you as a caregiver. So this is a good basic brief, and it works pretty good during the day. Nothing too fancy. Better plan on changing the person at least every 2 hours. And that's fine. I like this one a little better. It's by Prevail. It's got a blue pad, blue extra absorbency in the middle. So this one's just basic absorbency. This one is maximum absorbency. And I like it better because it does reduce the leakage problems. You never know when someone's going to go a large quantity at one time and flood the brief. And so having that extra absorbency really helps out. Now during the day, I always make sure I change people every couple of hours, but sometimes that's not always true at night. If somebody has good skin still and they don't have any breakdown, I think that it is better for people to sleep through the night, because sleep restores their brain. And when we go in every couple of hours and change their brief so that they won't be wet, we might be saving their skin, but we're not saving them from being sleep deficient. And that is a problem that has finally started now being shown in the research, that people need to be allowed to sleep. But you don't want to wake up to a big mess in the morning. So what I do with this maximum absorbency product is I add a pad to it. Now, when I say I add a pad, sometimes people think that I mean one of these regular incontinent pads that you can get at the store. They're kind of like what women use for their period, and they're made for urine, so they're not the period ones. But I don't use these because they have the plastic backing on the back. They are produced to keep all of the liquid on this pad itself. And what happens is that might puddle, and then it might not actually end up going into the brief that's below it, even if you have it inside. So what I do instead is I use a product that's called a flow-through pad. Oops, I dropped that. Sorry about that. But I dropped it, and it is a great product. This is made to fill up with urine and then flow into the brief that's down below it. And I find that works pretty good at night. A lot of times this is all my people will need to make it through the night, especially if we take measures like trying to not drink a lot of liquids after dinner. So I encourage lots of fluids during the day, but then once we've eaten dinner at about 5, 6 o'clock, I say no more liquids other than maybe just a little sip to wet your mouth. But let's avoid liquids in the evening and at night, so that way you can sleep through the night and not be flooded. But what if this is not enough at night? What if this combination still leaves you with wet beds in the morning? Then what I do is I go to a night diaper. And these are like 2 of the other maximum absorbency diapers. They are extra thick. They've got the wet pad, the blue pad for absorbing liquid. And I find that they work so much better for at night. This is my preferred method at nighttime. Now, I have never seen these at your local store. I always order them online. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them at the specialty companies like Carewell. I've used Carewell a lot and been really happy with their service. They deliver them to your door in boxes that are not labeled. So if you don't want everyone to know that you're ordering briefs, they come quietly to your door. So if a person is particularly heavy wetting at night, which sometimes happens with older people because they don't process out the liquid until at nighttime. And so that's why sometimes you see lots and lots of urine at nighttime, not very much during the day, as their kidneys and whatnot work better while they're sleeping. So then what I'll do is just put one of these in the middle. Now, if somebody has skin problems, or if they just really can't make it through the night, then I'll change them at 4 hours. Put them to bed, change them 4 hours after they go to bed, and then change them again 4 hours later. And that usually is the most often that I do at night, unless they really have big skin issues and need to be turned and changed more frequently than that. But the research is showing that people need their rest. So I try not to wake them up at nighttime. If you have more questions, or if you want to learn about the products that I recommend, make sure you put tips down below, and I will send you a copy of my information that I have accumulated over the years about urinary incontinence products that I think work the best. And then if you want to get more information about how to keep that bed dry, I have a video over here that talks all about bed pads and what to do to which one is the best one to choose for your loved one. I look forward to seeing you in that next video.